revolution is on the horizon, and they must be ready for that revolution and for that war. And revolution does not always require bloodshed, but revolution does require change. I want you to understand that even though Donald Trump is in the White House, police killing of unarmed black men has not stopped. There was one recently where, and this is just a few days ago, police were called to the scene of a party, and they felt like there was too much noise. So when the police came to the scene, people were dispersing, and one car in particular, the children were in the car, they were driving away. The police officer took out his rifle and shot through the window and killed a 15-year-old child. And in the police report, he said that the car was backing up and he felt threatened for his life. And of course, the initial report was written up like that and corroborated by his partner. Only later, when they reviewed the videotape, they found out that the car was pulling away. It was not speeding, just pulling away, leaving the scene. And of course, the police officer was eventually fired and then consequently arrested, and now has been charged with a crime. That's a good thing. I think that we need to look back at the news. Donald Trump is a distraction from what's really going on in black America. Look back at the news. If you also look at the news, you find out that hate crime under Donald Trump's administration is on the rise. I got some statistics here. One of them is in New York. It says New York City has experienced a 24% uptick in hate crimes. The state of New York, 20%. Chicago, 24%. Cincinnati, Ohio, 38%. You got this going across the nation because those white supremacist groups that thought Donald Trump was coming in to make a pathway for them to get into the White House are now exercising what they see as their authority, their immoral authority, to do what they want to do with impunity. We have got to wake up. We got to stay awake, especially in these next 4 years. Things are about to happen. We need to be ready for what happens. If we go to sleep, we're going to be slaughtered by the events that are coming up. Not just in healthcare, but every aspect of human life. It is war. Politics, religion, economics, the educational system. All of that's war. If you don't believe me, keep listening. Thank you.
Amen, brother.
All right, we've got a few announcements, and that is Cleveland Street Flea Market, Miss Lois Lomax, 901-626-8502. She has the best natural soap in the city. And while you're there, go see our friend Cold Water and get you a fresh haircut. Okay, the number to call is 901-327-2500. And now let's get into our subject matter, which is ideas that we may suggest as a people that we may be working on. And Jeffrey is here with us as well. And Jeffrey, did you have an announcement? How's your enterprise coming?
Oh,
we just heard a very motivating.
Absolutely, and I didn't really get a chance to talk with the caller, but I was very much encouraged by what I heard. I think that business for African Americans, I think that what she is following is a good model for African American individuals and also families. And so I wanted to tip my head out to her. Also, along with that, we want to encourage all the listening audience to visit www.thesmartworkmarket.com. Once again, that's www.thesmartworkmarket.com. And what this is a program that is set up as a funded proposal, which you pay for it and you gain access to be able to sell this particular training website on internet marketing, advertising, and it helps you promote and advertise your business, along with gives you a lot of tools, an autoresponder, also lead capture pages and other templates for even building your own websites and funnel systems for e-commerce. So once again, that's www.thesmartworkmarket.com. Thank you.
All right, yeah, let's get into, last week we left off after talking, Omar, about leadership, and we got to point 5 of our ideas, suggestive ideas, and we wanted to get a little bit more into that. And so that point number 5 came down to cooking more at home. And Kazi, let's go to you now on point number 5.
Thank you very much, Brother Wallace. I'm not sure of whether or not you make, when you say cooking, are you talking about food preparation and that whole procession of what goes before, that is selection of food and growing of food, and or you're talking about how much in the diet we eat and what do we eat, and you know, it's a long process of analysis which you have to go through for any culture of people, but generally in our history it's all in there. Our forefathers, my grandmother could tell you all about that story. My mother could tell you all about that story with her 10 children. I come from people who knew how to cook and know how to cook right now, and didn't think it was a big thing to say, well, I don't cook. That's what some of our sisters say, as if it was some sort of chore. But it's really food preparation is what sustains a nation of people, and that's what we are. And I think Brother Balewa is a great model on the traditional aspects, and I did hear someone mention Brother, I can't think of the brother that's been out here a long time, not Dr. Sabi, but there's a local brother here when I came to Memphis who was into nutrition. I'll stop at that.
Mm-hmm. Well, actually, we made an observation, Jeffrey, and as we have traveled around the city, we've seen that, and Kazi just said, you heard people say, not that women have to do all the cooking, men can cook as well, that I don't do any cooking, but we've also seen that our people going in and out of these stores, buying especially the hot wings, Omar, and we just mentioned that our people are dying quickly and young. So that's, to answer your question, Kazi, how that particular idea came about. So we decided to throw that on the table as an idea in terms of cooking, and not just, and you're right, preparation, and not just cooking at home, because you can cook anything at home. Basically, we are talking about cooking healthy food and in the effort to live more healthy and productive lives. 901-327-2500 is the number to call. So Jeffrey, is that a good idea, number 5?
Absolutely. The question in the first topic there, I came across something, I don't know if it made me laugh or just made me say, or just realize how true it was earlier this week. You may have heard Chris Rock say something to the effect of, black people are the only people to go to the funeral, and then after the funeral, they eat the food that killed them.
Oh man.
I mean, come on, think about it. I mean, what did you eat after Grandma died? What did you eat after Grandpa died? Was that anything that was beneficial for your health? Where you see, like Brother Baruti was talking about earlier, there's wars on all fronts, and food is basic. Food is basic, and they found a way to get to us through the food. So in order for us to defend against that particular tactic, we've got to go back to planning. I think Brother Kazi said that, planning healthy meals, cooking at home.
And he said preparation.
Preparation of meals. Also, learn more about your own body and the things that are good for your body, as opposed to the things that are advertised for us to eat and consume. Because you'll find out the things that are advertised for us to eat and consume are not good for you. So it's almost like a rule of thumb. If you see it on the TV, it's probably not good for you.
Okay. All right, we have a call. Go right ahead, call.
Yes, but it's a part of what we eat and how how we cook our food. Hot wings ended up themselves are not bad.
Okay.
We need to understand and accept some things that we don't know and don't understand. Most of the things have been taught to us by the white man. Most of the things that are in the library are things that are written by the white man. So our culture, our everything is basically, the majority of what we have in our head is stuff from the white man. We have to understand basically, understanding that chicken is poison, turkey is poison. They have to be handled a certain way to keep from killing us in order for us to eat them. We have to understand that. And I just wanted to make that clear when they were talking about the food. Wings, you can eat all the hot wings you want and all the chicken you want. Don't fry it in grease. Cook it in hot air. If you cook it in the air, it can be just as crispy. Prepare it just like you're going to be fried, but just cook it in the oven on a high temperature, and the grease will come out of it and the skin will be crispy. The cholesterol in the chicken is in the skin. If you buy a chicken and it's on a deep fry, skin it. Take all the skin off, and then it's going to be poisonous, and you won't have to worry about cholesterol.
Okay.
Dr. Safety is something that my brother brought up. We need to look at that. He teaches us that cabbage is poisonous. Carrots are poisonous. A lot of things we think that are good for us are not good. Elijah Muhammad told us collard greens are cattle food. We have to understand what we eating. We need the turnips, but not the salad. And so a lot of stuff you just gotta learn and understand. And so I hope that you all will bring out today how to prepare the food. We don't want to just identify the problem, but we want to have some of the cures.
Okay.
And that's just one of the brothers to bring up some of the cures of the food.
Okay. All right, thanks for your call, Al.
Yes, sir.
Al Hensel, everybody. Now, the one thing he mentioned is something that doctors have said and about skin on the chicken, removing the skin from chicken. And I think that has some validity. And the other thing he mentioned was learning about food, what's good, what's bad, what's healthy, what is unhealthy. But we have 10 points here. And that doesn't mean that we cannot take ideas in addition to the ideas that we have here. We have pooling resources. We have examining the policies of our local politicians. We have organizing here. We have calling into our local politicians. We just talked a little bit about food. And Omar, as you've said, reading the labels on the food that we have consumed. Is that right, Omar?
Exactly.
And when that's necessary, because carcinogenics, cancer-causing agents.
So many of the things that we see on the label, if you read the label, and many times we don't read it, but so many of those things are known to cause cancer. My wife and I were at Home Depot a few months ago getting some plumbing parts to try to fix a kitchen sink, where we could hook the sink up to the dishwasher. We had several different options, and one of them said the state of California says that this product causes cancer and is banned for use in the state of California. And I was thinking, if it's banned in the state of California, why it's not banned around the world since it causes cancer? And so we didn't choose that item. But again, there are so many things that are banned in the food products that we eat that we should be banning those from our kitchen table. We know they cause cancer. And you know what? Here's how they get away with doing it. We knew for generations, and they knew for generations, that cigarettes cause cancer. And eventually, the cigarette industry was taken to task and sued, and they ended up paying several $1 billion for all the cancers that these cigarettes caused, because they kept pretending like that wasn't true. And now, so they don't get sued ever again, they put on every cigarette package that a warning from the Surgeon General that the cigarettes will cause cancer. So since they already told you it's gonna cause cancer, you can't sue them because you were already warned. They need that same warning on some of those food packages that we eat because we don't want to cook anything anymore. We want to heat it and eat it. And it's nothing but instant death. We're eating our way to the grave, one mouthful at a time. We have to come back and look at that. If you can't find it in your kitchen, why would you find it in a food product? You're gonna put it in your kitchen. There are many things that they have on, like sodium nitrate. You don't have that in your kitchen. You can't even go buy it in the grocery store. Why would you eat something like that that's got that ingredient in it? If you look up sodium nitrate, it causes a cancer in laboratory animals. You're not too far from a laboratory animals yourself. So I want you to make sure that if you can't pronounce it, if you can't pronounce it, if you can't find it on the grocery store shelf, don't bring it into your home. How about that?
So, Omar, we should look at that and say, I'm scared of that one.
Yes, sir.
I'm not eating. Yeah, run.
Run.
As fast as you can. As the song said, but look.
And look at this too. Our children today, they are physically more mature even though they are not mentally mature. At 10 and 12 years old, you have 10 and 12-year-old girls with breasts like a 30-year-old woman. Where did that come from? It comes from the growth hormones they put in the food to grow the food faster. I went to Russellville, Arkansas a few years ago to get some fertilized eggs for my son for a school project. I saw millions of chickens in a warehouse all walking across the floor. I said, there was some crippled chickens. What are y'all going to do with those? He said, we're going to grind those up and feed it to the other chickens. And I asked him, this is for Tyson food. I said, well, how long does it take to get these little baby chickens that just hatched out this morning, how long does it take to get them to the market? He said, 6 weeks. And I said, wait a minute. I said, I lived in Big Hampton. I said, when we had chickens in the backyard, it took 6 to 8 months to put a chicken on the table. He said, we use growth hormone. In 6 weeks, they'll be in the grocery store. In 6 weeks, if they're in the grocery store, those growth hormones are still inside the chicken, and they'll be inside of you. Keep on eating what you've been eating and see what happens to you. Hot wings are good, but not if they come from a chicken that's been fed growth hormone. It's detrimental to yourself and to your children.
Real quick, on Tuesday, quick announcement, and we'll take this next call. From 5 to 6 at the Walker House, join us, the group, a conglomeration of groups rather, along with Chet Kibble, to discuss the lead issue. And we're talking about what we should be doing as a people. And here's something that we know is a fact, that there are things we can do to protect our families every day from the lead issue. And Chet, it says right here, regularly clean floors, window sills, and other surfaces. Wash children's hands, bottles, pacifiers, and toys often. Make sure children eat healthy, nutritious diet consistent with the USDA's dietary guidelines that help protect children from the effects of lead. And wipe off shoes before entering the house. One more thing, item to add to our list as a people. All people. Let's take a call. Go right ahead, caller.
Am I on?
Yes, you're on. Go ahead.
All right, high fructose is the #1 thing we need to look at. High fructose puts fat on our stomachs and on our fat. That's the sweetener used in Coca-Cola. Pepsi-Cola uses other saccharin, I think it is. And both of these are cancer agents. Both of them are used to kill mice and rats and roaches and stuff like that. And these are the lead sweeteners they have in most soft drinks. You see some of soft drinks like a sweet, it's an Ancola. It uses sugar, and some other drinks are saying they use real sugar. Those are all the drinks you use, and they have too much sugar in them. But drinking soft drinks is one of the worst things you can do, period. Gaining weight and messing up your kidneys and your heart and liver, and give yourself diabetes. And water is the #1 cancer agent for esophageal cancer.
Okay.
Those are some of the things we need to look at and understand. That's all.
All right. All right.
All right. Thank you.
Let me add to that too. What the Center for Disease Control is saying now is that 1 out of every 3 black child will be diagnosed with type 2 diabetes by the year 2020. because of the drinks they're drinking. They're not drinking real juice when they go to the grocery store. Mom is buying juice drink. Might have 5% apple juice and 95% who knows what.
Yep.
You need to quit doing that. You're condemning your child to a life of diabetes at a young age. I mean, as children, 1 out of 3 would be condemned to a life of diabetes according to the Center for Disease Control. We got to do a better job of shopping and for nutritious food for our children. Otherwise, we're going to injure our children unintentionally, but we're going to injure our children and we're going to pay the price for it.
By the way, I was listening to Patricia Lee's show yesterday, and her guest was talking about, she mentioned deodorant. And I personally have had a problem with deodorant. And she said that there's some carcinogenic agents or whatever in deodorant. And I knew another brother who had a problem with deodorant. And I'm wondering about that and trying to find something. I know one time I was using mint julep, which did pretty good, but I haven't been able to find that one again. I found another one that I thought was good, but it seems to be not as problematic, but it's not as problematic as some of the other ones. But let's move down the line. Kazi, another item we have on the list, and we need your expertise on this one. Building a new political party, or at least get that conversation started.
Thank you very much, Brother Wallace. Building a political party,
Yes.
is a matter really of 2 areas that we can immediately do. One is if you're talking about electoral politics, who runs certain sections, positions in the general political scheme of America. Well, it takes money to run candidates. And the easiest way that candidates have done this is that you accept whatever funds are available. And of course, we as African people in Memphis have very little funds to beyond our basic needs for food, clothing, and shelter. And so that becomes a luxury of having financing mayors and city council persons and state representatives, because we don't have that fund available to select. And even if we had a candidate, we have to have the political process in motion that allows people who are capable, committed, and have the backing of the community to be financed. And so we have to create that institution of financing our politics. And the other is the grassroots politics, which is what Zanco Products, my company, has always tried to do, was to fund that. I recall Brother Orlando Matthews years ago, which we called the reparation brother, and but we always funded his trips, including the one, his last one, to the conference in Africa, in South Africa, and for reparation. And also the economics of our situation does depend, and I have to draw attention and laugh about this to Brother Jeffrey. I believe his grandmother was in the grocery business. Am I speaking right on that, Brother Jeffrey?
It was actually my aunt.
Your aunt?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and her name was Nadine, Sister Nadine Ragland. I used to sell to her stores. I had all the grocery stores in Jackson, Tennessee, and Jackson, Mississippi, and in Nashville as I did my route. And so that brings up Miss Nadine's sweet potato pies.
Oh,
She
yeah.
made and sold in her stores, and they were delicious. And I always purchased from her on my way to Nashville and on my way back. And so what I'm getting at is within our fat cooking and chitlin dinners and all the table scraps Brother Muhammad talked about. There was other items that we cooked that were nutritious. And we need to, instead of talking about it, let's invite the people who are in that industry right now. And Brother Baruti, I think you mentioned your daughter is in the food preparation business. And so one of the things I'm going to be constantly talking about is the economics of everything, and food preparation, and growing and all of that. We can bring them and set them right down at the table.
Yeah, speaking of that, speaking of that, what I'm saying, Omar, is that this is a brief introduction, and we're going to come back and break these down, especially what I realize about the diet and the eating and cooking and labels and all that, and at some point make that one topic and then go into a workshop as a result of. And while we're talking about this healthy issue, Jeffrey, one of the items that we listed here is scientific gardening. And I saw posted on Facebook where a young man had worked on in two gardens today. And we said scientific because you have the various insects that do various things. And then we said we wanted to bring the children into this process as well. Do you like that idea? And how do we go forward with it? And then we'll take a call. Break it down for us, Jeffrey.
I love that idea. Actually, I think that I grew up in a time where this was probably fading away, but I still got in enough time to be able to go visit grandma in the country. Because going to visit grandma in the country for the summertime when you're not in school will teach you the science of planting. I think that's something that that have to be. It would be better for us if it's passed down like it's supposed to be. If it's good if it's taught at a school or educational setting. But growing food, you see, that's where we've lost our connection to nature and also family, because like we said earlier, food is basic. And so if the parents are not teaching the children the tradition or the science of making sure that they can feed themselves if let's say Walmart goes out of business, or Kroger's, or those particular services are not available, that's when that will become imperative, but we don't want to wait too late. You see, there's kids out here that don't even know how to plant a flower, let alone some peanuts and some sweet potatoes.
They think food is grown in Kroger.
Oh, absolutely.
Now you mentioned three things, and we'll take this call. You mentioned the science of planting, and you mentioned family and passing down that tradition. Those are key items, very important.
Oh, and also the science of planting. We're talking about. We're talking about food. Also, I want to throw out there something I remember Dr. Sabi saying always is, if it doesn't have seeds in it, it may not be real food. So,
I understand.
Fruits and vegetables, those cutie, I think they call them cutie oranges. Mm-hmm. You hope they're easy to peel, they're really sweet, but they're not real.
Okay.
They're man-made.
Great point. Let's take a call. Go ahead, caller.
Turn your radio down, Balewa.
Yes, go right ahead.
Yes, sir. I love the conversation today. I'd like to come right in on, let's say, in terms of...
Take 2 minutes and 30 seconds. We're short on time.
Okay. In terms of sustainability, yes, some of those old ways we do need to pull back up again. But in terms of farming, there are some ways that I've been trying to teach, and others like myself would like to even dig in deeper to teach about sprouting. That's a year-round farming. And it's out the box when you talk about nutrition. I can take 1 pound of lentils and sprout them in 3 days and turn it into 5 pounds of lentil sprouts. All I use is water. So I just want to say, I'm soon to be 72 years old, born in 45, been a vegan over 41, going on 42 years now. And I have been working on sustainability for a while. This is not about me calling to brag on myself. I'm bragging on the fact that I come from that old school, walk behind a lot of flowers. I know a lot of muse names that started dead and gone. But we don't have to be out in the field to grow our food. We can be in the kitchen, get us some recycled gallon jars and some dried seeds. We can stock up on them seeds, y'all. There's people out here trying to take real seeds from us. Speaking of politics, politicians are dead in the middle of our kitchen. And brother, I sure thank you for asking me, letting me know about your show today.
No problem, anytime.
Words,
No, go right ahead.
yeah, and see, I just love to see us congeal. We are becoming one now. We started off, we were so forceful, so powerful. That's how volcanoes are. I mean, it's a lot of explosions. But what if we didn't have a volcanic explosion?
Okay.
Would we really have Earth today? Would we really have the many different terrains and the topography that we have today on this Earth? So let's be thankful for that. But we don't need to keep on learning the same old bad lessons over and over. Hey, it's time to wake up now. That's one reason I called my show, to about the show, and now we're on your show, brother.
All right.
I want to keep on promoting you, and we're going to make it really even stronger than that.
All right.
Thank you for inviting me in, and I hope I had something good to say. And anybody can reach me through you. The ones who have my...
Give out your number.
Give it out.
Give out your number. Go ahead and give your number out.
Okay, 901-859-0590. Once again, 859-0590. That's in the 901 area code. And I'm traveling now, sisters. Atlanta, Baton Rouge, and here.
All right. Thank you, Balewa.
Sir.
We're short on time.
All right.
We've got a couple more to touch on. 901-327-2500. Brother Chet Kibble, if you're out there and you're listening and want to share some wisdom and knowledge and expertise with us, give us a call. 901-327-2500. We also said that we would intentionally seek out and support black businesses where and whenever we could find them. These are the last two for right now. We also said that we would make every effort within reason to get along with our neighbors. And this will cut right into this whole idea of hatred, not being able to get along. This is what our children learn at home in our communities, neighborhoods, and then they go out and then we see fighting, shooting, and killing. At some point, Omar, we're going to do this conflict resolution. We have to pull it together. Omar, help us out with these last 2 points for right now. Shall I reread them? Did you catch them? We good? Okay.
Not reading.
Okay. Number 9 says support black businesses. I think that's something that you've talked about often on this show. And number 10 says make every effort within reason to get along with our neighbors.
You know, at one time we did just that, especially after slavery. We had some of us called it Black Wall Street in Tulsa, Oklahoma. We were doing such a great job of it that it became a threat to the white people that lived in that part of the world. And as a result, they dropped gasoline bombs on Black Wall Street, destroyed hundreds of businesses, killed hundreds of people, burned down churches. Some of the insurance companies that insured those churches wouldn't even pay the insurance claim to rebuild the churches. But we've got to do it in spite of. You know what, when you look at the different areas of life, they're all, as far as we're concerned, they're all war. We have to do it no matter what. We must support our own. Otherwise, we will not get out of the condition that we're in. We can quit begging for welfare if we take the $1.3 trillion we already have and give it to ourselves on a regular basis. The Jews bounce their money in their community 7 to 8 times. Hispanics do about the same. White people bounce it 15 or 20 times. When we gonna start bouncing some of our money among our own people? so that we can enrich ourselves and rise to the top where we should be anyway. We must do that. Quit asking your child about what kind of job are they going to get when they get out of high school, out of college. Ask them what kind of business are they going to open, what kind of enterprise are they going to be the CEO of, and then inspire them to go in that direction, like the lady that was on earlier with the book that she produced. That's an inspiration to us to go ahead and do something for ourselves. You know what? When you see people from other countries come over here and set up a business in a black community, a lot of them don't have any business experience. They just know that black folk are about anybody. And they come over here and do just that, and we do just what they expect us to do. Pass our own shops up and go buy from them. The Koreans know nothing about hair, but they know you'll buy hair, and then you buy it from them. And all the food places we have, they know you'll buy it from them. We need to shop among ourselves. But the first thing we got to do is what the Love Power show talks about in the theme song. Love power. The power of love comes from first loving yourself and loving your people. If you can't do that, we're not going anywhere.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned two things. You mentioned the 1 point, how many? Three? What'd you say?
1 point, according to the Department of Commerce, $1.3 trillion goes to the black hands every year.
Mm-hmm.
That's enough money. That money by itself is more money than the whole country of Canada has from one year to the next. We, black folk in this country, the 40 million of us plus, we have more money going through our hands than the whole country of Canada. We'd be the 16th wealthiest country on earth if we became a country. Mm-hmm. So let's take that money and make it work for. We could end unemployment in the black community if we spent the money with ourselves. Mm-hmm. But we don't do that, and therefore we got a high unemployment rate, a high crime rate, high wedlock pregnancy rate, high cancer rate, and the list goes on.
Mm-hmm. And now this is going to be a whole topic. We don't have time here today to talk about this $1.3 million, and I think trillion. I'm sorry, trillion, 1.3 trillion. Yes, I stand corrected. And Kaiser, this is something that I know economically you can help us with. But will you comment on the last 2 points? And we're short on time. Let's make it as quickly as we can. Brother Kaiser.
Thank you. I'm trying to see exactly which direction you wanted to comment on. The figure thrown out by Brother Baruti shows hope and what it sets a target for us. How to get there, I guess, is where my thinking is. We can start with buying and selling, the ancient African art of free enterprises, buying and selling. We did that before we got here. And we bartered. We didn't necessarily use money for it. And that's what I call a cooperative. You produce this, and I don't, and you have a surplus more than you need. So let me have what you don't need, and I'll give you what I produce, and you don't produce. And so we have a natural need for bartering, buying and selling, and trading. We were traders. And so this is not a new thing to us. So Zanco products, which is, I'm going to sneak the advertisement in, and I'm going to bring it in each time I come. And I will say that
you slick rascal.
Our website will be up, and I'm not just talking. I want to show you where we've been, and also what does it take to produce what we produce. Not all that great, but we did some things. And still do them, but you must know also that there is a force beyond our needs that we call it white supremacy or racism or whatever you want to call it. I call it cultural competition.
Okay.
There are other cultures who want to produce more than they need and then sell it to the rest of us.
We're short on time, guys.
And so we got that issue to solve, and I'm going to talk
wrap
right
it up
there.
for us, okay?
That's the issue for us to solve.
All right.
Shall we produce for ourselves first and buy from ourselves first?
We have less than 3 minutes left.
Much.
Jeffrey, can you say something about these last 2 points? Should I reread them?
Yes, sir.
The last 2 points thus far. support black businesses. And you mentioned your aunt, and I hear that businesses in your family, and I hear that you are doing some things yourself as well. And it also, point number 10, make every effort to get along with our neighbors. And all these points, Jeffrey, grow out of our observations and our discussions right here in our after show meetings. Is that right? So can you talk to us as quickly as you can about those last 2 points?
Yes, sir. I just, and I want to go back to what Brother Kazi was saying earlier. You see, I'm from Jackson, Tennessee, and Brother Kazi has had his business, Zanco Products, for many years. And I just so happened to meet Brother Kazi here on the Love Power Show. And Brother Kazi had me ride with him so he could show me, you know, how all the businesses in South Memphis are not ran by the people who live in South Memphis. Just so happened, he remembered my auntie. My auntie has been gone for over 20 years. And so I take that as a sign, and what we're doing and what we're promoting here on the Love Power Show is the way that the black community has to strive to work for themselves, okay, to produce for themselves, and that is the fundamentals of our economy, is the fundamentals of our politics. Mm-hmm. It's the fundamentals of everything outside of the food, which is the basic. But if we go back to history, we learn from ancient Kemet that they were able to become powerful through being able to grow more food than the countries around them. Mm-hmm. So I just want to.
And you're saying that this is the way to go from our perspective as a group. Is that right?
Not just growing food, but just anything.
Well, the overall comprehensive element of discussion that we conduct right here on the Love Power Show, in addition to our meetings, after show meetings, etc. Now, earlier, Al Hitchell said something about the white man and the things that African Americans have learned and adapted from the white man. Omar spoke about the white man. Kazi spoke about white supremacy and etc. My point is that there are those who are going to call, or they're going to discuss with someone else. Our friend Pianki is going to say, all we talk about is slavery and the white man. And so you brought in the historical element, Jeffrey. And going forward, truth is one of the elements. We'll be talking next week about leadership. And one of the things that leaders do, they bring truth forward. Is that right? And thank you. I think we're out of time. Let's leave it right there until next time.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the past hour, you've been in tune to the Love Power Show right here on AM 1600 WMQM. If you really want to know the truth, it's somebody shared a link on Facebook where Farrakhan was talking about the black businesses and how the Iranians are building their business. And notice, when they get ready to hire someone, they don't hire us. They bring someone in from their country to make sure they over here working for them. So when